I thought he was choosing a life with me. I thought the ring on my finger meant forever. But then, I saw him whispering in my cousin's ear, and I realized their love was built on my ruins. My name is Chloe. I'm 24, and for 3 years, I believed I was the luckiest woman in Seattle. Liam was everything. He was the guy who brought me coffee when I stayed up late studying, the guy who promised to build a home with me. We were planning our wedding, a small, beautiful ceremony by the coast. I had the dress. I had the venue, and I had the man, or so I thought. Then, my cousin Sarah moved back to town. Sarah was always different. Growing up, if I had a doll, she wanted it. If I got a lead role in the school play, she found a way to overshadow me. But we were adults now, or so I hoped. I welcomed her into our home. I wanted her to be my maid of honor. I thought family was a bond that couldn't be broken, but Sarah didn't see it that way. The red flags started small, almost invisible. A look shared across the dinner table. Liam laughing a little too hard at her jokes, a hand lingering on her shoulder just a second too long. I told myself I was being paranoid. I told myself it's just because they're becoming friends. But the air in our apartment started to feel heavy. Like a storm was coming, and I was the only one without an umbrella. One night, I came home early from my shift at the hospital. The lights were dimmed, and I heard whispering coming from the balcony. I stayed in the hallway, my heart hammered against my ribs like a trapped bird. She doesn't have to know yet, Liam's voice. It was lower than I'd ever heard it. We just need to wait until the inheritance clears, then we can leave Chloe behind. My breath caught, my world tilted. The inheritance. My grandmother had left me a significant fund for the wedding and our future home. Liam wasn't just breaking my heart, he was planning to steal my future. And Sarah, my own blood, was giggling. She's so gullible, Sarah whispered. She actually thinks you love her. I can't wait to see her face when we're gone. I backed away, quietly, slowly, into the night. The girl who entered that apartment was gone. The woman who left was someone Liam and Sarah wouldn't recognize. I didn't confront them, not yet. I needed proof. I needed to see exactly how deep this betrayal went. For the next week, I played the part of the happy bride-to-be. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, smiling at him, kissing his cheek, while knowing his heart belonged to a lie and his mind was on my money. I installed a small, hidden camera in the living room, and I linked Liam's laptop to my phone. What I found shattered what was left of my soul. They weren't just having an affair, they were documenting it. They had a shared folder titled The Escape. Inside were photos of them at hotels while I was at work, screenshots of flights they'd already booked to Europe using my savings account information, and a document detailing how Liam would convince me to sign over the inheritance as a joint investment. I sat on the floor of my bathroom, the cold tile against my skin, and I cried. I cried for the 3 years I wasted. I cried for the family I thought I had, and I cried for the version of Liam I once loved, the version that never existed. But then, the tears stopped. A cold, hard clarity took over. They thought I was weak. They thought I was a victim. They wanted to play a game? Fine, we'll play. But I'm the one who knows the rules. I began my own folder. I called it The Revenge. I contacted a lawyer, and I moved all my inheritance into a private offshore account they couldn't touch. I didn't say a word. I let Liam keep thinking he was the mastermind. I watched Sarah pick out her maid of honor jewelry, knowing she was planning to wear it while she ran away with my fiancé. The turning point came when Liam asked me to sign the investment papers over dinner. He looked me in the eyes. He held my hand, and he lied with the grace of an angel. "It's for our future, Chloe," he said, his voice so smooth. "Together, we'll be unstoppable." I looked at him, and for a second, I saw the monster behind the mask. I signed the papers, but they weren't investment documents. I had replaced them with a full confession of his infidelity and a legal notice that I was terminating our lease. He didn't even look at what he was taking. He just tucked it away, smiling, thinking he had won. The engagement party was the perfect stage. Everyone was there, our parents, our friends. Liam's boss. Sarah was wearing a dress that was almost white, a silent insult to me. She kept touching Liam's arm, marking her territory in front of everyone. Liam stood up to give a speech. He started talking about love. He talked about loyalty. It was sickening. "I want to show everyone a video," I said, standing up, my voice calm and steady. A tribute to the man I thought I knew and the cousin I trusted. Liam smiled. He thought it was a montage of our photos. The room went dark and the screen flickered to life. It wasn't our engagement photos. It was the footage from the hidden camera. The room went dead silent as Liam's voice filled the speakers, talking about how gullible I was. Sarah laughing as she kissed him, the screenshots of their flight plans, and the fake investment documents Liam had tried to make me sign. The gasps were like a wave. Liam's face went from pale to gray to white. Sarah tried to hide, but there was nowhere to go. My father stood up, his face red with fury. Liam's boss looked at him with pure disgust. "Liam," I said, my voice echoing in the silence. "You wanted my money, but you forgot that I'm the one who earns it. And Sarah, you wanted my life, but you're welcome to the scraps I'm leaving behind." I walked over to Liam. I took the engagement ring off my finger, and I dropped it into a champagne glass. "The wedding is off, the apartment is gone, and your job? Well, your boss is standing right there." I walked out of that room, my head held high. Behind me, I heard the sounds of their world collapsing. Liam lost his position. Sarah was disowned by the family, and the fake love they shared? It didn't last a week once the money was gone. Without my inheritance to fund their escape, they turned on each other instantly. Now, I sit on my new balcony, in a new city. The sun is setting over the water, and for the first time in years, I can breathe. Revenge isn't just about making them pay, it's about taking your life back. I'm Chloe. I'm 24, and I'm finally free. If you enjoyed this story of betrayal and revenge, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted? Tell us your story in the comments below. Let's heal together.